Greetings there, fellow prospectors. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Icarus Elysium. Episode 28. It's Jackhammer time. Oh, poop. Really? Well, with all the time I spend outside, it's pretty inevitable that I would get a storm that would stop my excursion. How many raptors am I aiming to have? You know, I just want enough raptors to be able to do, like, world bosses and, like, thumping and stuff like that without having to really do a lot of the combat myself, because, let's say I'm just lazy. It's like, if I was to not get another raptor ever again, I'd be fine with it. But I wouldn't mind breeding for specific stats if it's convenient to do. The caveat there, and the important part to listen to, is the if it's convenient to do. Because raptors for raptor's sake doesn't make a lot of sense. But having a raptor army allowing me to, like, do quests more easily, well, okay, then yeah, there's definitely a return on investment there. Now, once I thumped the caves back, I'm not entirely sure I've checked the local caves for resources since. Like one of them, but not both, maybe? I don't recall. So while I'm out here, I could go do that too. Did I get in here? Probably not, because there's titanium right here. How the drone is managing to survive in this storm, honestly, I have no idea. But not only is it surviving the storm, it is shooting up my brand new Raptor as well. What a jerk. What, you like kicking babies, little drone? As I said last stream, pick on some of your own caliber. Oh, there's two of them? How rude. The enemy health bar is pretty helpful right there. Shooting at an enemy indicator. I didn't even see the thing. Alright, let's get a little bit more sulfur. And that should be enough resources if I can find... Oh god, I'm not going to find one more sulfur. Am I kidding? Can't even find my nose. Fine. Alright, going home. We'll cook up as much of the carbon paste and electronics as I can manage right now, and then we'll get back out there once the storm clears. You know, might not be a bad idea is for me to mark home with the beacon that I have. So I don't have to keep pinging it. So you're level 12, that's pretty good. We'll grab speedy attacks, astonishing blow. So pretty much all the damage bonuses that the Raptor can have, it just already picked up, which is nice. Oh, right, I just used all the sulfur to make epoxy, so yeah, I'm not going to be able to make steel. Let's cancel 65 of it and instead do 30 steel and the rest epoxy. That's a better split. So we need 12 more electronics, 2 more steel, and then a bunch of carbon fiber. And the steel I just made, so that will have no problem from the steel blooms I just cooked up. Oh, I might be out of power. So it sounds like we have local fighting, and that's probably fine. I have enough pets right now that, like, I'm not all that concerned. Also, one thing to note, this, let me hide the overlay. This raptor came with phenotype 4, which is a rare creature variation, which is why it's, like, darker than the other ones. Fangface doesn't have a rare phenotype, it's just default. And Guchis doesn't have a rare phenotype, it's also default. So this is the first rare phenotype. And there's 7, and there's 1 that's ultra rare, and the rest are just like either normal or common or rare. So, Dun Did It Now doesn't have like interesting bloodline stats or combat stats, but it does have this like slightly different phenotype, which is, I don't know, worth noting perhaps. Okay, so I needed 12 more. That's done. So, that's just the carbon fiber now. So if we want carbon fiber, I need more epoxy and resin. So once we're done, now that we're done making all the electronics that I need, the epoxy and resin will be for carbon fiber. So I can make probably most of it, almost all of it. Oh no, we're missing a whole bunch of epoxy. So I've got 13 of 40. Okay, if we need more epoxy, I just need more sulfur, but now that the storm's over, I can actually see where the hell I'm going. And also to spot epoxy, so it shouldn't be that hard. Or spot sulfur, rather. Oops. Sorry about shooting you. Done did it now. Just a little friendly fire. You'll be fine. There. And I even went to the effort of healing you. I think the drone, the first one I just killed, like, went underground, so I can't loot it. At least I can loot this one. The other way to get epoxy is to head back to this section of the desert, which is a little far away, but this section of the desert, this sort of, like, only sand section has elephants, whereas this, like, greener section doesn't have elephants. The greener section is the dry brush steppe, which just doesn't have elephant spawns. It's a sub-biome that is elephantless. Come on, Dribbos, gather up. And now you're 16. So, let's give you a bunch of max stamina. You feel like Icarus pets need to have projectile attacks for the drones? Technically speaking, there is a pet with a projectile attack. The gribblers, the little monkeys that throw sticks. With that said, they are absolutely terrible combat pets. Their attack speed throwing sticks sucks, and their accuracy throwing sticks sucks. So I would not suggest trying to train gribblers, which is the little like tree monkeys, as combat pets, because they will just be disappointing. It sounds good on paper, but in practice, they are garbage. Absolute garbage. All right, this is the oil baron home. Compass distance, no limit. And black for oil. So now we have marked down our home. Yeah, some of the problems with the gribblers, if you're wondering, is their accuracy is terrible, their movement speed is terrible, their health is terrible, they can't heal on attack, they have low HP, and, yeah, basically as a combat pet, they will just die. They will just... the amount of effort it takes to tame them versus the benefit provided by taming them doesn't add up, and they're expensive corpses. In, of course, my opinion. But yeah, that's where I rank them. They're one of the worst. Honestly, just one of the worst. So what are we missing now? Oh, we're missing resin. All right, back out for other ingredients. So we're missing resin and maybe some silica. So we'll get resin and silica while we're out here. Or oxide and silica. Imagine 40 gribblers attacking the Worm Queen. Yeah, I still think they would just die. They, even as a meme, with their range attacks. Because their attack speed is so slow and their movement speed is so slow. Any enemy that like moves around a little bit, that is not stationary, is gonna like accidentally, honestly, dodge their sticks. Because their sticks move at like... Their sticks move at like a physics violating like 10 miles an hour. Where it's just like a slow projectile, which doesn't make sense because gravity would pull it to the ground. That's how slow their sticks move. I don't know why. It just is. And as a result, their attacks are so insanely easy to accidentally dodge because it takes so long. The travel time is so slow that's why they're like crap. Just again, my opinion. But yeah, getting an army of them would be amusing. Now, the answer, if you're wondering, to being annoyed by drones attacking your home is the automated defenses. There are, there are buildables that you can build to defend your house if that's an issue that you run into. Now, what do we want to grow? I think I'm going to grow all yeast. Because there's a lot of recipes that use yeast, and yeast's grow time is rather slow. So I'll just grow a whole bunch of yeast on this batch. I'll probably use it to make beer or something. Alright, there is the last of the resources we need for the polymerizer. Sweet. I think. If we can ever type it right. Yeah, just the carbon fiber. So because I'm excited, I'm going to put it in the electric furnace so it bakes up faster. Oh, did I make 23? Did I count this wrong? Oh, yeah, I thought I had 17. So I need like 4 more, I think. Okay, 20, 27, 13. Okay, yep. Got the number right. Alright, I also put my little bunny away so I can put the oil barrel on my back, because you're going to need 150 milliliters of oil to make this thing, which we can plop in here. So, oil, titanium plates, steel ingots, electronics, screws, copper wire, and working on the carbon fiber, and that's the last one. And I'll plop it. Actually, I don't know where I want to put it. After I do the polymerizer, I'm going to get the jackhammer. I'm not pulling on that. It's just going to happen. There's nothing else I want more. Oh, crud. I don't like that dribbles are just, like, grazing in the backyard. Let's go fix that. It's a good way to, like, power level the pet, too. Because these are extremely easy enemies to kill. And they group up real nice, like. Come on, gather in front. And now you're level 22. Let's give you movement speed. Okay, here it is. Poly time. So with the polymerizer, it's gonna... Maybe I'll put it here. And move the concrete furnace a bit. Because I want it against the wall. Because it will have a lot of hookups. Oil hookups and the like. And I'll just stack them like this so that the foundry can go there. A little ugly, but you know, whatever. I don't care. I can always rearrange. Like, it's so easy to rearrange things later on that I'm not all that concerned. I think that, oops, I mean, I'm probably never going to make clay in my concrete furnace, but I'll hook up the plumbing back anyway. Okay, here it is. All that hard work. Sweet. Now this doesn't hook up to your oil network. You just have to put like oil barrels in it. So now that we have that, the current priority is make a jackhammer. And I want to take the oil barrel out and put it back in the refinery so that it can start making more oil in mass. And then I'll take the oil can and stick it in here for a local supply of oil. So for the jackhammer, we want 50 plastics and 10 plates. So let's start making plastics. So the oil can make 40 of the 50 plastics. And then we're adding more oil to the oil barrel that's in there to make the remainder. Oh my god. Look. This is what happens when you don't have the creature deterrent. Look at how many freaking creatures are around. Like, what the hell? The spawn rate around here, if you don't have a bunch of combat pets, is just like... It's just too much. It's simply just... It's too much. It's great for, like, leveling up your pets passively, getting a lot of experience, getting a lot of meat, but it's, like, just insane amounts of animals. Alright, let's make sure you're not fed or watered, but you're pretty healthy. I'm just making sure that I'm not going to, like, lose anyone. Making sure that their health is pretty good. Yeah, all my pets are fine. We'll keep leveling them up this way. It's free bacon. My pets bring home the bacon. Let's make maybe a little bit more smoked bacon. All right, the other pieces of the jackhammer, let's work on them too. So the rest of the jackhammer, that's 10 plates and 10 electronics. So I need the resin and epoxy for the electronics, which I don't at the moment have. And then we'll need 10 plates, which I have enough for already. Awesome. We'll also need 10 platinum, which I have here, because I've been getting the platinum, knowing that that was going to be one of the requirements. And then 50 aluminum screws, which is no problem at all. Just made that just now. So all we're really waiting on now is the electronics, 5, and the plastics, 10 more that I haven't already queued up. And to say that the jackhammer will be game-changing for me is an understatement, because my mining speed will, like, quintuple, and then my yield will go from 130% to 200% for everything. Which is insane. It's just a massive bonus across the board for everything. Let's see. I think we'll need a little bit more oil, but we're probably pretty close. So once the storm's gone, I'll go get more epoxy and more sulfur. I thought I had more platinum. I guess I'm making it. Because the other thing I wanted was, let's make some sheaths. The other thing I wanted was the speed saddle, which is platinum weave and platinum sheaths. So I can make 10. I think the speed saddle's 15. Yep. So one more sheath should do. Because I'm currently smelting platinum, so it's fine. Five more. Perfect. And the speed saddle's other ingredients is 10 carbon fiber, which, yeah, epoxy and organic resin again. And then rope. Which is no problem, I have plenty of rope. Oops. I made too many. Okay, so that's all of the plastics that we can make so far. And I'll stick the oil can. Basically, you're going to want something to store oil in this thing at all times. Because otherwise, you have nowhere to process it, and it will stop. So we needed 10 more plastics, and I have enough for 18. So we'll just make the full 10. So we have a little bit of oil left over to actually make the jackhammer itself. Good. Good, good, good. While I'm staring at this, I'll just smoke up some more bacon. Okay, we're almost there. Except for the electronics, but that's pretty easy as soon as this light sandstorm's done. We'll grab the required ingredients. Alright, you're a little not healthy, so I'll feed and water you for some regen. If I lost a Tusker, it wouldn't be the end of the world, because, like, you know, I don't need two. One's fine, but if I keep them alive, that'd be ideal. And now that I'm, like, taking care of pets, I'll feed the rest. Just for the regen. So they don't have any, like, large malices, which puts them at a great disadvantage for combat. For the combat pets, it matters a lot less than the Tuskers, because the Tuskers can't passive regen like the combat pets can. So the Tuskers, for them, it's like a matter of life and death. But for the combat pets, they'll probably regenerate within a fight or two. All right, so now that that storm's over, I'm going to put the mega oil barrel back into the refinery so that there's plenty of room to store stuff that we're trying to refine. Because that oil can's already like almost a quarter full. And let's go get more sulfur and epoxy, or oxide, and I'll search this direction, because this direction is where we have the thumper. And everywhere else I've already searched, we came up kind of dry. What would you use biofuel for once you start making it? So the portable biofuel generators are really convenient for exotic mining and uranium mining. Basically, and any of the temporary sites where you exhaust the resources, so like the exotic deposits, probably the easiest way to do those is to bring a portable biofuel generator to generate the power that you need for it. So in Tier 3, in order to get the water tool... God, where is it? In order to get the water tool, you have to get the biofuel composter anyway to pick up the water tool. But then once you have the water tool, grabbing the biofuel generator, wherever it is, makes a whole lot of sense. And that's generally what I use it for. Wherever the heck it is. Why am I blanking? Yeah, here it is. Portable biofuel generator. Generates 2,000 power, which is enough to power up most deep drills and exotic extractors and, you know, thumpers if you want to thump, not in your home. And then you can also use biofuel for other things as well. Like if you want a flamethrower. Flamethrower sprays biofuel, not oil. Or what else would you use biofuel for? Lanterns. Yeah, there's other stuff like that. Okay, so we have the oxide we need. Got 100, so let's try to get the sulfur. Another way to cut corners is to get electronics from scout drones. Oh, and of course, I say that and the corpse, like, glitches through the ground. So there's a flamethrower turret that uses biofuel. There's a personal flamethrower that uses biofuel. There's the, like, weapons licensed flamethrower that uses biofuel. There's the power generators that use biofuel. You can, of course, have, like, biofuel drills. Not that you probably would ever do that once you have access to electric ones or oil ones, because the oil ones and electric ones are better. But hypothetically, you could still do that route. I think that about covers what biofuel will be useful for. And there's also, like, biofuel stoves and stuff like that that become more or less obsolete once you're in the electric tier, but who knows? Some players still might use them for the aesthetics, the sort of cottagecore camping aesthetic. If that's your deal, if that's your jam, who am I to judge? All the recent storms, woo, have not damaged my wind turbines, because they were lesser storms, I guess. Nice. Okay, well that was a hell of a lot of exotics, or oxide for resin and epoxy. So we should have no problem getting the electronics and carbon paste for the saddle and the jackhammer. So the saddle needed, what, 10? There we go. Cheers! All right. So, we need oil and platinum, one more platinum ingot, which I've got in here. There we go. In order to make the jackhammer. And then we can retire our pick forever, which is pretty sweet. So I'll move the oil barrel back in again. And here it is. One jackhammer. The, just my old pick I'll just, like, put away in here. It's fine. And this is going to be my main one. So the mining radius is lower. But the actions per minute are insanely higher, and the yield is insanely high. So I'm not really going to need another tool. And the other thing that this thing will allow you to do is allow you to get stone and limestone extremely fast. And building in limestone is actually pretty cheap. So if we go to the tech tree here for the concrete mixer, you can pick up the limestone building set. And the limestone building is steel and limestone are the only two ingredients. And you can make steel pretty easily with the new recipe that's this one, which is limestone, iron, and sulfur, because only 2 iron goes into 1 bloom in this recipe, whereas this recipe is a 6-to-1. So, you know, you can make steel a lot more cheaply using this, like, crushed limestone, sulfur, iron mix. And that way you can build really large limestone bases. And the advantage of the limestone base is they're pretty, and they're also very storm resistant. They have a resistance of, max resistance of storm 8, so they won't be broken. So replacing the stone in this base with limestone is actually really affordable, especially once you have a jackhammer, which allows you to get limestone, iron, and sulfur at insanely high rates. The last piece of the equation is to get that speed saddle. So let's do that right now. Let's grab the materials. Boom. Make the saddle. Am I missing something? Oh, I put the rope away. I have it. I just auto-deposited it. And this thing allows, it's more resistance, cold resistance in the Arctic. It has the same mount slots as a normal saddle, and it's a 10% movement speed bonus. So it's better for Arctic travel for a Raptor, and also just faster. There's really no downsides. And because we're leveling up Done Did It Now, we'll give it to Done Did It Now. So Done Did It Now has max sprint speed, max movement speed, max stamina consumption by sprinting. So Done Did It Now should be a good Raptor sprinter. Thank you for tuning in to Icarus Elysium, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow prospectors.